to have a really fast blink dagger. Then again, you will have this invoker probably in Ghost Walk just rotating around, using his cold snap, perhaps an urn, to catch people off. So their initiation isn't great, but they do have some catch potential on them.
I think this Batrider will need to achieve a lot against the Drow Ranger in the lane. What did they ban out? Beastmaster. So they want an Aura Carrier. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does this mean?
Aggression.
Yeah.
Basically aggression. The way that Ursa is played right now, at least in the last couple of tournaments that I watched, is phase boots into Basher. And that's it. You're ready. You only need those 2 items and you're ready to fight.
I'm looking at the...
They still need lockdown. That's my issue. And that Batrider is countered by Vengeful, so I don't know if that's enough.
They might put... they might swap things around, considering that they know Ursa is going to be safe lane. Like, he doesn't have a good matchup. There's no melee heroes on Gambit, so they might put Puck as position 3 and just adjust things a little bit, but they decide to go for Abaddon.
And actually a melee offlaner versus that Ursa too. I guess with the amount of damage that Puck gives you, you can kind of fight against him. And also Abaddon is completely free to do whatever versus that bat, right?
Yeah.
As he can always shield himself off. So that's good. But it is problematic to fight into an Ursa.
So let's talk about the texture of both of these drafts. Who's got the better team?
How did Abaddon get through? How did Abaddon get through to the last pick? I mean, Gambit, they might not be the favorites here, but you just gave them Abaddon when you have Invoker and Batrider on you. If this Invoker goes Quas X, he's useless. You use that Cold Snap, he just shields everything off. You use Cold Snap, Urn, gone.
Maybe they didn't want to pick Abaddon at all, but it fits the color profile.
Well, it's all blue. We got to remember, they're listening to the strategy to make sure you have it is winter.
It's blue, but not squishy, though.
Oh, that is true. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't fit the entire theme, but it is mighty blue here on the mountain for Gambit. So I'm for Gambit. Again, which of these teams has the better team fight right now?
I'd say Gambit. Like, once they group up, if they're hit the timings, they need to be careful about Roche. Like, if they get one bad fight, you're always playing against Ursa, Nature's Prophet, Treants can't tank the Roche while Ursa is killing it, and whenever you're playing against TA Ursa lineup, you need to be careful about those, and especially the second one. Once they take the first one, they're going to build up advantage, so have buybacks ready.
Very similar thing can happen for Gambit as well. You're playing with Vengeful, with Drow, with Storm. If they get that first Aegis and give it to Storm, he can just roll out of control. But overall, Nigma, you can never rule them out, but I just love Gambit's draft.
Give me a prediction for the game.
I'll go with Gambit.
Gambit.
I
will go. We'll get into our game right now. I'm going to go with Nigma. I still think that they've got it figured out with Kuro. So let's get to our casters and find out who wins game 1 of our elimination match.
No, the only thing you need to know that needs to happen now because of this draft is Gambit gets to change their logo color, because that's what everyone does in esports these days. It's just changing your logos. Whole blue team, it's a fun little draft, and they finish it with the Abaddon.
You join the dog with hat gang. That's what you do.
Okay.
Did you miss out on that on Twitter?
Maybe I did.
I'm still in on it.
I'm too old for social media.
That's what all the esports orgs did. There was this dog with a hat, and then they all took that, and then they put their logo as the logo of the hat. And
wow.
All the esports orgs just had a dog with a hat on with their logo on.
We're a professional industry.
I still have it. Mine has a Pepega on it, which I think is really nice. So I'm keeping it. I feel like it really captures my identity as a person.
Is Lacoste your personal sponsor?
No, it's nothing to do with Lacoste. We're just the same, you know. We're kind of both cut from the same cloth. Okay, so
yeah, so let's talk about Dota.
Yeah, let's talk about Dota. Let's talk about Team Blue versus Team Every Color Ever. I think this draft is kind of interesting from Nigma, because I was talking about earlier in this, we've seen some good games last night when we were casting against the Fighting Pandas. They had another lineup with Nature's Prophet and playing this super aggressive style, and it worked out very well for them. And they're going to try to bring that style against Gambit today. We've seen a little bit of everything out of Nigma, but this, to me, looked good last night, and I think putting Weeha on his Ursa is as good comfort as it gets in the safe lane right now. So cool strat. As far as Gambit goes, it's way more of the meta. I think all of their 5 heroes right now are very popular, and it's a well-crafted strategy that looks more stable on paper. So
I'm interested to see just how well Gambit are able to get the initiations off. Seeing what FNG is able to do on the VS, but normally I look towards XS Vampire. He's playing the puck in this game. We've seen him in fantastic roles like Tiny, these blink-ins to crazy out positions. Now the puck kind of support, and they're actually sending VS towards the top lane, realizing the Kura is on bottom.
Yeah.
So already a bit of a lane switch up.
Shashlo got the matchup he wanted. Gambit made the right read here and got the Abaddon to lane against the Batrider support. Batrider will want to get out of there. He's just immediately going to TP top as a matter of fact and play this Tri versus Tri lane.
Battle up on top. FNG's on the run. Already trying to get the body block up. Weehar with jump forward. Kuro staying on his tail, and with all the sticky napalms, having a lot of life taken away. One more attack. GH is able to claim it. The support Rubik doing his work as Puck just wants to orb himself to the other side. It was all too much for Miracle.
Yeah, he couldn't handle that. He doesn't want to look at this.
First blood doesn't spell
the
well.
timing on the laugh was perfect.
Nigma were actually in really good spirits. Like if we could have all that conversation on the panel, like, the guy is looking good, and like a sleepy face comes out from FNG. But like you tweet this type of stuff out, but he's still looking focused at least. Yeah, maybe a little tired, but still focused. The Nigma guys were high-fiving each other and just laughing their asses off throughout the entire first part of the draft. So at least their spirits seem to be up, and both teams, they look ready and rearing to go.
I mean, they've got to be feeling pretty good, right? Because this has been rough on the way here. They've had to overcome a lot of adversity, not necessarily within their team, but just with how the games have been going. And when you keep overcoming one barrier after the next of challenge, you build some confidence. Sure, they're down here in this lower bracket match. Let's not forget this is an elimination game.
Yeah.
But their series against RNG was not bad, right?
No. It really wasn't that bad.
They
I kind of like it.
absolutely could have won it.
I like looking at it from like a resilience kind of like point of view, the way you're describing it.
They clearly got better every day. So even if they lose that other series and they see how these matches are going, I don't think their confidence is that shattered, even though they came off a loss, just because of how they feel like they're developing as a team. And keeping that morale high, obviously, only going to make things better. 1K lead already. Nigma got 3 bounty runes and they got the first blood. That'll do it for an early advantage.
Yep. And we'll see how the CS game keeps on going too. I just like also the fact that Kuro was confident enough not to ban out the Storm Spirit while My Control is playing the Nature's Prophet. He's doing his CS thing again. He's already 4 for 5 in the first 2 minutes. As GH and Vampire doesn't feel like it with the Fade Bolt. And there's a quick shield, and Orb forward's going to miss on GH and a little off target.
Yeah, that's a kill if the Orb hits. He can choose to tank the tower, have the shield explode, and get the kill to Shashlo and then suicide. That would have been really nice for XS Vampire. I'm surprised GH actually stuck around as long as he did in that trade. Just trying to show him who's boss, but sometimes you try to show you're boss, but you're not actually the boss. Kind of like a little Rubik bluff there, but he got away with it.
That sounds like middle management issues.
Well, yeah.
Radiant's top tower.
Now the bottom lane gets to return. Interesting, like Observer wards as well. Just watching the southern side, really trying to protect Dream's early game without having to commit multiple heroes to stand on top of him.
Well, the end outcome of this is that now that the lanes are swapped, the Nature's Prophet plus Batrider down here, this is actually a very interesting lane because when Batrider hits level 2 and gets that Firefly, you have Nature's Prophet's Treants that can tank for you in the tower. So you buy Batrider so much time to go for dive plays that this, on paper, might sound like a super weird lane, but the synergy is actually very good. He went for Flame Break though, so scratch that. Guess we won't be seeing that for a while. XS Vampire, not sure how that happened, but sometimes you're just blue and you die.
Well, we're flagging the fact they were squishy. Might be used to these more tankier supports he gets to play with. There's a Flame Break pushing FNG further up. Dream trying to keep My Control and Kuro away, but the body blocking from the trees way too good. Now Dream's going to cop a fair chunk of damage. Only a third, actually. He's okay. Moving back into the safety range of his tier 1 tower.
That's another synergy, maybe instead.
Don't worry, you didn't see how it happened, but now we're seeing
orbed, so, well, that's
and a level 1 puck with no other options.
Particularly interesting kill, I'll be honest. He just used his orb and got run at. Okay. Now, as far as this bottom lane goes, that's a different synergy, right? We talked about the Firefly for diving. The Flame Break's cool too. You can knock them into the treants and then they get blocked off, and that was very nicely executed by Nigma in that bottom lane. So, looking good for them so far as the overall net worth and the 3 kills goes on their side. Nature's Prophet 17 denies.
Yep.
Will make you feel pretty good about yourself.
And not all of them have been Treants. The fact, like, yeah, 8-1 Dro Ranger CS. This is not a happy day for a Dro Ranger, while Weeha, and he feels a little bit more time to beat after Shashlo.
Does he have a mango on Weeha? Because then this could be a kill.
If he's got one more jump, yeah, he does. Jumping forward with the Fable. Shashlo shields are up. They'll dive underneath the tower, but they've already got the kill before they get there. And XS Vampire. Really, like, this is the issue of a puck early on, right? You're under-leveled. You're not really that intimidating. Just feels like
this laning stage is actually turning into a stomp pretty quickly, because one weakness that Gambit's lineup has is that they don't have the best heroes for, you know, rotating and solving problems. Venge is generally not going to do that if you're behind the laning stage. She's just not strong enough yet. The puck with level 2 also not very strong right now. And Storm, frankly, just can't rotate at all until he's 6, right? It's like almost impossible. I don't know if they can hear that on the screen, but the crowd is cheering for I don't know what, but something's great.
They're cheering to give Gambit. Like, Gambit's actually had a hell of a lot of support here, and we're now like, what, 1:30 in the morning, local time? And this crowd actually hasn't diminished since the last series. They've actually stayed as full as they were before. They don't want to go anywhere. That's why they're here.
Maybe they all live here.
That's why. But like, it's not like you're going to go just like pop home a small couple-hour drive to Kiev.
It's more like they're just going to sleep here after the game's over. They're
That'll
like,
work.
I can't sleep anyway. Oh,
TP out will be fine.
3K lead.
Yeah.
3K. That's 3,000. Oh, GH that.
That is 3,000. I cannot fault your logic, Sid. GH will die to Vampire and Shashlo, but they're moving off the top lane. So Ursa's getting a free lane. You see the 3 cores of Nigma all cracking the 30 mark in CS. And then, in fact, just to make it even better, Prophet almost cracking the 30 mark and denies, just to make it look even more fancy for Mind Control's numbers.
It's a nice farm there for Shashlo. The sequence is actually really good. He got a kill, and then he gets to farm that double stack with a Photic Shield, so his game just got a lot better. But yeah, big timing coming in now for Nigma. Of course, they have insane global presence with Sunstrike and Nature's Prophet ulti. So any telekinesis into a slow from Ursa should set them up to land their spells, and you got to be really careful with that if you're Gambit. Your only hero that is truly safe from this right now is the Abaddon. And we'll see if they manage to play the tempo like they did last night with their Nature's Prophet. Maybe it's just a nighttime hero. Maybe they're like, enemy team is tired. They can't focus on our split push. They worked against Fighting Pandas last night. They were out of steam. Let's just
like
make it really stressful.
We just need a couple of global abilities to work, and that's it, right? Hard to make those perfect late game decisions. Then again, like Nigma haven't really had the greatest showing when it comes to the mid game decisions either. And it feels like if you want a lineup that's going to be able to punish that, a Dro lineup is the one to do it, especially if Storm's able to have a half-decent start. He is #1 now on the CS. He's probably the best lane out of all of Gambit's to move forward, and is a very good counter to Mind Control. But if they keep getting this, the Flame Break's repositionings from Kuro, you can talk about how great his Lich is, but he's making this bat work.
FNG does not seem comfortable playing against Batrider, I want to say, on this Venge. Just seems to not be paying too much attention to the stickies. If you get stickied twice in this lane, you have to back off and wait. Like, there's just nothing you can do. If you get 3 stacks, you get Flame Break into the Treants, you're dead. And it's happened 2 or 3 times now. He's got to start learning from this mistake down in that bottom lane. His game's already bad enough as it is. No need to give extras. And that's what support Batrider will do sometimes. If you don't play against the lane counter, sometimes you just have to yield. Like, give up the CS or give up the protection, a little bit of your drow. Yep, they might just dive them now even. FNG is oh my god.
He's actually blocked in the tree line. Sunstride's coming in for Miracle. The trees are going to do the work. He's trying to break free. And the Flame Break, there may be enough chip damage. Is it? Tick, tick, boom.
Dude, that was on the HP. I think that was a 0 damage overkill. Dude, I feel sorry for him. That was actually just sad to watch. He's trying to play defensively, gets stuck in a corner. And Sunstrike, Nature's Prophet ulti, man. You feel for him, dude. This is so sad. Ugh.
It's going to get worse later on if they got no ways to cut free and until Storm really has something to do. But this is also like what do you do? You're a Dro Ranger lineup. You can at least push back with the split shot, but it feels like because the levels are getting up higher and higher for the Nature's Prophet, that the damage from the Dro feels very negligible to stop that push. Like, or else what? He would have cleaned up. Would have cleaned up the trees that are running at him. GPK has to go jungle, trying to get some Ancients up.
He's the one hero on the team that has a good game. I think everybody else would like to be doing better. Shashlo's is okay-ish. The Drow game is pretty miserable. The Vengeance game is trash can tier.
Not even 1K net worth.
Yeah, it's rough. And I don't think like Venge is a special hero because in some games I would be like, this is fine. Because you're an aura, you have the save with the swap. But it can also get so bad that if you don't reach, he's not even going to reach 6 with a tome at this point. So when this aggressive lineup of Nigma starts picking up steam, is he just going to remain food? Is he going to like swap people to save them and then just die? Is that going to be his role the entire game? Because if that's the case, your aura is not particularly useful, right? If you keep just dying in the beginning of the fight nonstop.
Look at this. Mind Control and Kuro teaming up together. And interesting place to go considering in 20 seconds time we do open up the outpost. And you talk about a team who's not really feeling like they're ready to fight yet. It wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibilities for Nigma to actually contest both the outposts. Shashlo, Mind Control, traps himself in. Storm Spirits jumping over the top two. Weeha's on the way in, but Drow Ranger also enabled, so Mind Control. A little uncertain what he was really looking to achieve here. Now a jump forward from Weeha, he's still a little too far away. And it will be a 1 outpost for 1 outpost and a 50-50 bounty rune as well.
The outpost fight top's not over yet. Okay, it is.
Yeah, that's FNG, man.
Yeah, it's over.
Excess Vampire into the trees, but it won't stop Miracle's Cold Snap from finishing the job.
Got grilled.
Some frozen, actually.
Cold Snap with your meatball. Well, he did die to the meteor, I think. Oh, Sunstrike? No. And that would have been a kill. Shashlo does not have enough HP currently to survive a Sunstrike, and he didn't have the ultimate skilled, even if he was like in that borderline area. He could have maybe been killed by a Ursa jump or whatever to follow it up.
And this is going to be a lot nicer Invoker than we saw earlier today. Like, there's no rush into BKB kind of build. Like, he'll actually be able to pick up the Aghanim after getting a 9-minute Midas on the Invoker.
This is, honestly, this is one of the only heroes in Dota right now that I can get behind buying Midas on.
Invoker?
Yeah, because he has a presence while he has the Midas. What we've been complaining about on the panel a lot when talking about players is when people get Midas on heroes and then because they get the Midas, they can't get involved. But as Invoker, when you have this Midas, you still have the Sunstrike, which is the primary part of your hero for the first 15 minutes when you play Exort. And if it does come, if push does come to shove, your spells are still your spells, right? Like, the full power of the hero does not necessarily come from items if the team sets him up. So I think he can get away with it this game. Honestly, people watching at home, Midas is hard to play right now. I think it's...
Here they go. Excess Vampire lassoed back up again. Miracle gets FNG. FNG was trying to be so elusive. He was running back and forth trying to avoid the Sunstrike. But Miracle gets him from the opposite side of the map, really, and then the pressure into the Tier 1 tower. TP support is coming in to defend this. It's a baton to the front line. Shashlo dodges the orb of GH. And then what else do we get to steal? All right.
Coil. Level 1.
Value
it's
not.
pretty bad.
As far as all the abilities you could possibly steal from Gambit right now, yeah, that'd have to be the worst.
Probably. It might be the single worst spell he could steal right now, actually.
Also noticed too, like
maybe phase shift. I don't know. Depends.
So it's BT, also Invoker. Sorry, I thought I saw the Aghanim in his quick buy as his next item, but he's going for the BTs next.
Oh, he's going Yules after that too. In the qualifier, Miracle played Invoker a couple of times, and he liked rushing the Ags just to get the +1 orb on every orb. Yeah, okay. +1 level on every orb, as well as the Cataclysm, which he had mixed success with Cataclysm. Like in one of the games, he used it when the game was over for the first time. But just the stronger spells is nice. But this time around, a very different build. He probably feels like he needs a Yules against Storm.
Oh, Excess Vampire. He got hit by that Sunstrike. Mind Control's going to try and make sure he can't just easily jump out. Weeha staying on the tail. He's got the movement speed, but Dream Call holding him in. Here comes Storm Spirit right over the top of the Tier 1 tower, trying to make sure that Weeha is complete overcommittal. Will be punished, even with the help of Dream. They'll have the damage to get through the Enrage, but 4 heroes ending up on the top lane, and if you want to dive him, Gambit want to punish him.
It's a big rotation, but it's worth it. They're far behind, and everything helps right now. Obviously, the net worth difference playing into the value of kills, as it is above 1,000, so you definitely take what you can get. You're already in a pretty pressured position on the map, and even though Weeha dies top, you see the collateral is mid-tower. There's non-stop pushing lanes. And it seems like Gambit are struggling to handle the heat, but at least that 1 kill will help them out a little bit. This mid-tower is dead in a minute, by the way. There's no way they defend it against the next Furion Treants. More than likely, so just waiting for the opportunity.
Just keeping people around so they can potentially deny it. Like, it's Kuro and GH who's committing to this tower. It's not any of the cores, even Dream, FNG, they're all hanging around this mid lane now. Vlad's gets to be completed for the Abaddon. So beginning the auras of the 3-year-old. FNG swap into the perfect silence on Kuro, and he will die. Verify does not save him. Wrath of Nature feels like it's just coming a little late. They could not have expected Batrider to just die and play GPK! Oh, Miracle tries to do a solo and GPK. That's a short-range TP at the end to get out.
If he knew that he didn't jump further than that, Miracle might have actually been able to get an attack off, and I think that would have done the job. So close call from GPK getting out there.
And good vision from Gambit, having the Observer and the Sentry on the hill. Walking up the hill, in fact. Weeha, again, not where he wants to be. Surrounded by 4 heroes battling underneath. This time will be the Shrines there, the Tier 1 tower. Shasha will get all of his life back. Thanks to Weeha continuously attacking him.
What?
Yeah?
I mean, okay, so look, if you look at the map right now, right? Where Nigma have their heroes. I guess he got the mid tower out of this, but Nigma have all these heroes in the bottom right side of the map. So if there are no Gambit heroes here when they're there, you can assume that they're playing this top triangle, and just running in there alone on the Ursa is kind of a recipe for disaster.
Another great Observe Ward. Seeing Kuro, they put down the Sentry Orb, but it's a little too late. Swap comes back in, the Stolen Magic Missile, unable to get off. It's just the main one from FNG. Kuro will at least get rid of that vision, but it's all a little too late. There's another Observer and Sentry planted further to the south. So even by getting rid of that OBS, Nigma do not control the southern part of this map. And that lead is starting to get chipped away bit by bit. Core's not farming, Core's not being able to find kills.
Well, they are. It's just Ursa's not scaling right now. These 2 deaths from Weeha I think were largely unnecessary. I have no problem with a Core dying if it brings something with it on the map that has value, but I don't think him dying where he did really added anything. It's not, yes, they got the mid tower, but I think they would have got it regardless of his death, for example. And the first one where he was diving next to the top tier 1 was just like bloodlust, right?
TP's coming top. Miracle starting off with a combination of the Excess Vampire. He's swapped away by FNG and quickly into the Shadow Walk and away from the Outpost vision. But more support's coming in. Mind Control begins his TP. He knows Excess Vampire is low. Here comes Kuro with a Flame Ray, pushing FNG closer, but Dream also sending his ground. And Kuro just walking into the barrage of arrows. Doesn't understand the power of Legolas. And the rest of Nigma do, and they will back up.
That's some serious damage.
They just want to get these Tier 1 towers down on mid as well as top, so they're able to like easily claim Roche, but even Gambit have a ward down ready for this. And Weeha with his jump forward, now stranded. Chargelo and FNG, they've done the walk. They've come all the way from the top. GPK, Weeha still trying to jump in to close the distance, but once again, how many times will it be a 4-on-1 engagement? Is this space still worth the creation?
No. It ain't. It just ain't, Toby. You gotta look at it. He died 3 times in a row. Again, I mean, the net worth isn't really changing because all of his teammates are farming as much as they are, but I feel like if he wasn't dying like this these multiple times, the net worth would be gaining. The heroes are just farming more, right? Nature's Prophet and an Invoker with Midas, you're naturally going to overtake the enemy. And I don't think you have to have a core do this, the trash job, right, of getting just jumped. You could have the Batrider do this in mid, you could have the Rubik do it. If he's going to get 4-man ganked, so be it. Your Ursa is getting farmed then, and is progressing toward an item that could solve Drow or Storm. Ursa with Abyssal this game is actually a pretty decent Storm counter, but it's just getting delayed so much from these 3 consecutive deaths. Weeha went from being, I think, number 2 in net worth to now number 6.
Yep.
He's actually been overtaken by the Abaddon at this point, and I don't think it's in disaster territory for Nigma just yet, or they shouldn't be too concerned.
It's just rocky waters.
It's just making the game harder unnecessarily, I would say, so far.
That's a good Observer Ward already down once again, the one we talked about. So Shashlo is able to back off from the 4 heroes moving in. Kuro will get it just in the last 30 seconds. That ward had life. But the trade-off is the Tier 1 tower on top lane. Gambit are pushing it in. Drow, Ranger, and VS are waiting for someone to come and defend that. There's even a quick ping coming in.
Are fortified. Radiant are scanning.
Oh, Gambit gonna try this. They could get a double coil.
Radiant
And they do see, I think they see some of these heroes mid. I want to say they at least saw the Ursa. He was hitting creeps. So Vampire could go for a coil. They could TP in the Drow. But obviously, since there's no Shrine anymore, the TPs will be pretty staggered. Oh, okay.
There's a lot more heroes coming to bottom.
Wave.
They have to wait another 20 seconds before the wave's going to arrive.
They're uncertain. If you take this fight, you have to TP heroes in advance because it will take too long if you don't do that. So they rather just clear the wave and wait.
Meanwhile, GPK still building up his items, getting closer and closer to blood.
It's a good item. I've been a fan of this item since it came out. I said it was one of the best tier 2 items. I think my perspective has shifted a little bit. Early on, I thought it was the best, which I don't necessarily think anymore, but it's still one of the really... It never really feels bad to get, right? That's the thing about some of these tier 2 items. In the right or in the wrong game, it's like, it's almost a dead item. You get a Grove Bow and all of your heroes are melee, like, what am I supposed to do with this, right? But the Pupil's Gift will always be useful. So...
Sunstrike scouting the pit for Nigma. They're just wondering where Gambit is. It really felt like Nigma thought there was going to be a fight on bottom lane to be had. They might get one here in the mid lane. Fable bouncing through, but Shashlo, his movement speed is just so damn good. And it's also an Abaddon anyway.
This is a really big steal. And this is probably why Abaddon went through the whole draft, because Nigma feel pretty good about giving Abaddon away when they have Rubik. So then they get kind of an Abaddon of their own, because that is the primary purpose of the hero in the current meta, for the most part, is Aphotic Shield.
Weeha. Now he's going to try it again. 1v4. Coming underneath Radiant Vision.
Maybe it's like a real 5-hit play. Okay, it's not Toby.
No, he's got GH right behind him. The shields are up, and Weeha still in the middle of this. Can he have more help? No, it's now 1-on-5. Mind control. He TP'd in, but then swapped straight back into the middle of the 5 heroes. Where is the extra help? Baybolt through. Tornado will create a little bit of extra space with Mind control. Now sacrificing his life, but Excess Vampire doesn't want to give this up just yet. They're on the run back out. Still the Observer and Sentry. Kuro is trying to get rid of the damn stuff. And he's able to do so, but he'll lose his life on top of the hill. 3 heroes lost for Nigma.
So for a moment I was thinking maybe this is some like super... Okay, I wasn't thinking that, okay? But...
You were just trying to find logic in madness.
Not really. It's like, it's the classic thing. If you make a mistake multiple times in a row, the enemy team kind of get accustomed to it. And then this time it was actually a bait, but they'd be like, oh, it's Weeha again doing this. And the backup was there, but I thought they would do it a little more with a little more backup so that they get the Aphotic Shield off and then the Tornado comes. Because this could have been a good bait if the Invoker was nearby, but the damage was already done. He got swapped back in after Aphotic Shield and they still killed him.
Oh, Miracle's about to finish up his Agadim Scepter, so while there are definitely some issues with the Ursa Warrior, he can't do what he wants to do, which is just jump in Roshan, get the Aegis Immortal after killing a couple of people. He's tried multiple times and failed. You've still got the scaling mid. You've still got the Invoker getting bigger. They just profit. Fantastic with his split push. But I do still feel like one of...
if John's here, he's dead.
They shift by a little bit of time. Even Dream Call. Support's coming in. It's a Vengeful Spirit, Miracle. GH able to get the pick up over on GPK, allowing Miracle to go in. Viz, they need detection in range. Oh, Miracle just too fast to get away.
Oh, GPK was thinking about it. He doesn't have enough mana for this jump.
And he's just doing, he starts the Paso Doble. 1 foot forward, then hesitate. That's not how you do the Paso Doble.
No. I'm going to say no, like I know, but I honestly have no clue, but we'll just... If you're saying you're wrong, I'm going to agree. I'll always have your back on that one.
I'm definitely wrong. I did learn some level of dance, nowhere near as great as Dendi or Odie. Well, long jump forward. He's managed to pick himself up a double damage rune at least. And Miracle swap back in, able to get Tornado on FNG. Weeha needs to help out. He's running in, but he's already lost Miracle. That's a huge kill take. And Mind Control, he can't keep up. In fact, Weeha very actually pushed to the side. Have they got another way to get closer? Kuro getting up the hill, but they keep the vision up, and Kuro will fall once again. But the bigger hero, the #1 net worth on the field, falls. Miracle's Invoker, and they're thinking about Roshan. They're pinging it out.
This Nigma lineup has a serious problem when Invoker dies first. There's just no team fight. There's very limited control. It's a support bat that hasn't had the best game, so no real utility items coming out just yet for Kuro that you want to see, like Blink Force or whatever. So yeah, Gambit basically just turned the game around. It was looking really grim. They were like 6k behind. Now it's 1k, but they have the Aegis and arguably just flat out the stronger lineup at this stage of the game, right? You have better team fight, you have the Drow, Aegis on the Storm, you have the defensive tools of both Swap and Abaddon. And there's a reason this Radiant lineup is very meta right now compared to these Dire heroes. And Nigma just completely missed their power spike. It's over. So now you gotta think outside the box perhaps. With Ursa dying all these times in a row, his game is at a state now where you might have to split push for a while.
Yeah, that's a fun facial movement from FNG, who's letting off a bit of a smile on Weeha. And he doesn't look happy.
Yeah. Weeha is a player who I would say historically has always been high risk, high reward. It's just the problem in this game is that I feel like most of the plays have been high risk, low reward. And it's not a problem or a bad trait in a player to be willing to play aggressive and take risks. That can be a great way to win games. It's just, I think in this tournament, he's been a little bit too bloodthirsty and too eager and gone too far, not really respecting or knowing the limits of his heroes as much as he has in the past. So there's definitely work to be done.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mind control. He'd be very happy he dropped that Observer and Sentry down, able to reveal the fact that Gambit had vision of him, as Gambit are smoking up, looking for their own fight. They've got a blink reveal on the puck, ready to go. And a hell of a lot of damage to bring down a Tier 1 tower. GH, Excess Vampire, a quick blink away from GH himself.
They push so fast. This Venge, who had a very bad start, is now an amazing asset to the team. Level 14. They have the Helm of the Dom running next to her, so much extra damage from both that as well as obviously the Dom itself, then the Wolf, and the Vengeance Aura. All of these heroes. Look at Storm's plus damage.
Kuro is really hanging around inside the trees. He's going to be found out as GPK. So, well, maybe I'll just check the northern side, see what Nigma is up to.
Kuro's level 9.
Yep.
Remember, Venge was getting destroyed? Venge is level 15 or 14. Kuro's sitting on level 9. There's just nothing there right now.
It's like diminishing returns. Like, how much can you really destroy a Venge before she's got nothing? Yet you can't keep robbing the poor.
Oh, and to add salt to the wound, repair kit.
It's not that.
Miracle. I mean, it's good if you're losing.
Yeah, it's good if you're losing. It's fantastic if you need to hold the high ground if there's a critical death.
Quickening Charm is awesome for Invoker. Cooldown reduction? Well, how about getting out on the hero with the most abilities in the whole game?
They're coming over. Perfect.
That's good.
Active Vampire initiating over on 3. Look for the extra control. Weeha able to go onto FNG, but he's going onto FNG. They've already lost Miracle. GH will fall and Weeha's TP out. At least this time that will be successful in that repair kit. Actually, I think it was on the Rubik. Oops.
Dire's middle tower.
Mind control, trying to use his Orca to make sure GPK can't mess with him.
Well, success. This is honestly high ground territory. You have Aegis, you have... Every hero on the Radiant lineup has like 50% increased damage when Venge and the Wolf is there. Maybe the Wolf died, I don't see it right now, but you can push so quickly with this lineup when the stars align. At least Mind Control is forcing some sort of rotation to this bottom area that somebody has to take care of. You would imagine here on Gambit will buy travels this game, whether it's the Puck or the Storm.
He's pulling the wave off the top lane as well. These Treants are working overtime, and this is what Mind Control did in yesterday's series. Just more and more space creation, so it's very difficult to actually just instantly push high ground against them.
And it was a big part of the reason his...
Oh, wow. Well, with the Sunstrike, Excess Vampire may actually go down. The Orchid Pop should be enough for GPK, but all of his mana to get here. So Mind Control, well, he got a kill on a Puck.
Let me get my arrows back.
And he gets a tip from the Puck.
That's an unworth.
Because now they lose their huge split push.
They do, and Nature's Prophet is top net worth in the game, so the equation there not really favoring Nigma at all.
They're getting a Lotus Orb as well, so even like the silence from Orchid's going to be, control factors from Nigma are becoming less and less and less. It's when you need the big players from Nigma to really step up. GH, he's been an absolute boss throughout this tournament. On a Rubik, maybe he can pull something, but Gambit, all they need to do is also just shore up their lines, stay together.
My biggest problem in this game right now is that I look at this Nigma lineup and I'm trying to picture in my mind how they win a team fight without some sort of ridiculous engage that they don't have items for yet. I think Batrider is the one hero here that could do something crazy. If he has Blink Force, catches somebody before they get swapped by Venge and then gets the fight started that way. But outside of that, you can't really force a fight in a bad position for Gambit. The counterplay is too much. There's Swap, there's a Photic Shield, there's a Puck that can silence. Yeah, Kuro's looking to be scouted out here at least.
He has no real way to get away from this. Vengeful Spirit's coming up the side, and GPK's got the long jump because, well, it's a Storm Spirit. Now with 22 Bloodstone charges, 37 mana a second. Miracle catching on GPK. They keep him in the clumsy net, but Ball lightnings himself up. EMP Tornado will go to work as they come down inside the Sprout, but enough movement speed to get away, and an raged up Ursa is currently being played with by the two supports of Gambit, killed off by the Wave of Terror. Such amazing damage.
GG.
They keep planting these branches down everywhere.
Trees
but it's fine, it's an item.
Yeah. I wonder how broken that item would be if those trees had collision. It's the only tree in the game that doesn't have collision. Trivia for you right there. I hope I'm right. Well, I know it doesn't have collision, but I can't think of any other tree that wouldn't have collision.
I just remember the WTF video where the trees went around in a full circle around.
Yeah, the ones you make with Woodland Striders have collision.
Okay, but not that one.
This one doesn't.
Wow.
And I definitely think that is on purpose, because if not, you could have this tier 1 item start blocking slopes and stuff for a while.
Sounds balanced to me.
It would be pretty annoying to deal with, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that is a good item for both teams, but way better if it were on the Radiant. This telescope found by Miracle. Obviously an incredible item for Venge Drow strats. But he still gets...
He needs someone else to hold it.
Yeah, he's currently backpacking this. I feel like it's better than a brooch, but he might just have plans of giving it away right away. The cast range is actually deceptively really good on Bat Rider from having the telescope, so I wouldn't mind seeing him giving it to Bat. The extra cast range on Sticky Napalm, the cast range on the Lasso.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Got a Blink Dagger farmed up for Ursa. He's been working pretty hard in the bottom lane. There's a double creep wave pushing in, so once again Gambit have to start looking behind themselves. Puck will go down to clear it. That is an upside of a Puck, able to get so much experience, and he's fantastic at clearing waves, and he's a support. So you don't even lose anything from your front lines just yet.
Gambit are not using their Aegis. Or did they use it? Did they lose it? Maybe it already expired, actually. I think last time I saw GPK didn't have it, so maybe they're just playing for the next Roche. Nigma are going to try to make a move of their own.
But where are they going?
Miracle has BKB, so this is a big timing that they have to try to play. And I think the goal is you kind of need to get on top of Drow. It feels that way.
There's also an Atos over on Kuro. So,
and BKB on Ursa with the Basher, dagger.
They got a couple of things, but smoke up from Gambit. They'll do a wrap around, and just
Venge
like ships
18.
in the night, they don't see each other. The fog obscuring everything.
Toby, Venge is the same level as Ursa.
Well, that's not a good thing if you're...
Like, if you think back on how this game started and how it developed, that's kind of ridiculous, actually.
That's fantastic if you're a Gambit fan, and they're going to find something all the way down south. Time to use that Blink Dagger. Oh, he blinked in! He actually started going in for the fight, already set up and towards the air, and a quick little TP away to safety. I realized he wasn't actually blinking in. It was swap in of Nature's Prophet. Get my colors right.
Radiant structures.
But this opens up a little bit of space for the tier 1 tower to be beaten down by Miracle.
Yeah, they force them around the map nicely here. And I think this is what their strategy needs to do right now. Don't try to get the 5-on-5 engagement. The smoke that they just had, if they would have run into a 5-on-5, I think it would have been a travesty, similar to what happened to them on day 1 when they had this kind of lineup. You run into an enemy team that has good teamfight and BKBs, and they kind of just overwhelm you. But they at least accomplished this rotation forcing, so they got the tower. Now the defended bottom, they're looking to group up again.
Mind control. He just found the Puck out. Sunstrider's coming in. Actually, just the Cataclysm Vampire just cannot go anywhere because the Orchid control from Mind Control does its work. And on the run, Tornado will not catch out Shashlo. And the ball lightning gets Storm Spirit well out to safety. But Miracle so fast on the movement speed. Prophet's TPing in. We are able to get the jump forward as well. They make sure he's controlled. Shashlo already saw it coming. He was backing up. Lotus Orb as well as Ultimate. You'll project that one back over to yourself, Kuro. Lotus was still up, so his Atos didn't do much, but it held him there. 75 seconds, whether you're bad now. FNG is on the run. This game started with his death, and right now, the mid-game is going to be iced with it. 3 heroes down, a lot of pressure from Nigma now want to be applied towards mid. They may want to creep wave, but then again, maybe they don't. Storm Spirit. Ooh. Miracle tried to catch him in the tornado.
A little bit of help your friend syndrome there.
They're going Roche
from Venge, giving them an extra death, and that is an Aegis. If Nigma go for this Roche right now, it's still
coming
not
in.
up.
Storm.
It's respawning in
now.
3 seconds, but they're out of the pit. Let's see if they check it.
Well, VS knows about it before everyone else does. GH will come back in because the VS Illusion walked in.
I might go for this. They obviously have the Ursa, so they will be able to claim this. That smoke from Nigma got more than what it came for, I think. They found a kill, and they found another kill, and a Roche. Yeah, that's some serious damage.
Yeah, it is. Here comes the Storm Spirit right over the top and back again.
And again, the smokes from Nigma have to find moves like these, right? Where you find 1 or 2 stray heroes, not the whole squad together. And they did manage to find a little bit of a good engagement for themselves there. I still worry that their next smoke, if they have any left, they will run into a team fight once, and things are going to get dicey. But they've kind of recovered from a grim state. Now that Ursa has this Blink Dagger, I think that makes a big difference.
Gambit looking back towards Roshan. Dream jumped inside the pitch. EPK will join him. TPs are coming back from Nigma. The bottom lane's pushing in, but nowhere near fast enough to make him worry about it. The Treants are coming in, and Weeha jumps in. BKB, GH is in the neighborhood, and everyone from Gambit just getting outside the pit. Roshan sitting at 10% HP. The Flame Break Tornado, Source Spirit being caught in the back, and the Cataclysm is coming down. Shuffling up so much damage, but so does FNG. Kuro, the first one to fall in this engagement. Mind Control, BKB standing his ground. GPK and Dream will work together to finish up Roshan. They have the Aegis Immortal in hand into GPK's hand at FNG. Man, he's just standing his ground. He's actually the one helping to kill off Miracle, who stepped without buyback for over a minute. GH needs to keep the run going away from Dream, and he should be successful here. But Dream, hang on, Spidey senses GH has to Yule Scepter up. What's Courier giving him? Not enough to keep him alive. GH up the hill, but down he goes to Dream's Illusions. That is one hell of a play from Gambit around the pit.
And that was the team fight. And I don't even blame Weeha for going in there. I think you have to try to take this risk. His team was a little bit slow to the fight. If they all commit together when this jump from Ursa comes into the pit, maybe something good happens from it. But he spent his whole tank, right? He used BKB, he used ulti to even survive and get away. And the read on how low Roshan was not perfect. Still had like 20% left. So when he jumped in, he can't solo kill it that fast. You need to build up the Fury swipes. He obviously has none of them on it. And this looks bad now. We've talked in the past about how you can't always trust the gold graph. This feels like a game where in this game state, just a nil graph that's just even massively favors Gambit because of the patch, because of the play style, and just overall their ability to contest objectives, right? Like it feels like every time Nigma will try to find a fight, if Gambit are ready for it, just inherently strategically favored based on their lineup.
Nigma were 4K ahead 5 minutes into this game. It is not just slowly swung, it's pretty heavily moved in favor of the North. And it's not going to stop. This time Gambit will do something with their Aegis the Immortal. Invoker continues to pressure the bottom lane.
Yeah,
this is the power of like the BTs, the Prophet. Gain this global presence. They're going to bring GPK to the bottom lane. That's a pretty heavy commitment of a hero. While Mind Control, you see him TPing into the tree lines up on the north. Anything which gives momentum to the side lanes. Forces Gambit to look away, but there's your blink. That's an Aghanim's ulti as well. So the BKB will end up still be snapped on the coil. Now VS swapping further down. Enraged up, you need to jump up. Cataclysm, all bouncing around. They got the lasso. But just Kuro and FNG holding each other in position. Kuro will go down. As the split shot did his work as Mind Control smack bang in the middle of the team. Not where they want to be. FNG also kind of not where he wants to be. Inside the dire base, but they get pushed back down again. Weeha not giving it up. The shield protection. He doesn't actually have enough. Weeha pushed up the hill, but he also won't survive. They're trying to play at the cliffs, but they just cannot escape. Dream waiting inside the base. GH can blink himself away to safety. But Storm Spirit not even there for that engagement.
Yeah,
has now returned.
Honestly, super clutch play on the Lotus Orb. So Lasso was reflected, and then on top of that, they just aphotic shielded the Venge. Stayed alive for so long, eventually dying, but guess what lives on? The Spirit. And that Spirit's pretty damn useful in that fight.
They get to take the first lane of Rax, 37 minutes in. Dream has an entire butterfly flying out to himself at the moment on the Courier, and he doesn't want to stop. Repair kit from GH will help with the defense, but even then the damage is so damn high. And attack lightning! That's how you end it, really. Triple buybacks out from Nigma, but reveal of Aghanim's in style. GG. Message was sent and received. Game 1 goes to Gambit in this elimination matchup.
And that's got to be a confidence booster. When you saw how beat they got in lanes, this game was looking grim. They held it together. Too many unforced errors, I think, in this game from Liquid. Wow, I actually